Today on the table, we have a Colt Model 1908 pocket hammerless. So they made these from 1908 up until 1945. Now, the more popular one is the Colt Model 1903. Looks exactly the same, it's just chambered in 32. Now, this one is a bit older for the Model 1908s. This is actually a really early one. So based on this serial number, which you can see here, this is from 1913. So what is that, 112 years old? It's in actually fantastic condition for being 112 years old. You can see that it has pretty much still most of its blue here, even here on the safety. It's still got like a little bit of fire blue, which is really cool. I don't know if you can see that there. And then you get a little bit of color loss here. It's not really, it's mainly just wear. There's not really much pitting, but you can see here that there is some wear right here toward the end on the right side of it here. And then we can do a quick safety check. It does not have a locking slide, but you can see that it is not loaded there. And then it has the old school mag release. As you can see, it doesn't have, there's no button to push for the mag, so you actually have to pull the lever over to slide the mag out. And there it is right there. But it has a 7-round mag right there. Now, this is the original mag, so you can see here, it says caliber 380 on there. Let me see if I can get that in the shot. Right there. I've actually still not shot this. I've had this gun for maybe 5 years now, and I still have not. I probably should. You're supposed to use a lower charge round in this just because it is an older metal, because it is 112 years old. Oh, and then it does have an indicator here to see if it's loaded, because you know, there's obviously no hammer. The hammer's internal, so you wouldn't be able to tell that. And then it just has standard sights here, if you can see that there. And then you can look at the markings here. There's actually no marking on the barrel, so it's just plain. And then you can see the front here as well. It basically has the same front as a Model 1902, which I will show some of those later in some other videos. But it is all original, and it is pretty cool, so then we have to obviously make sure we shoot it. It has a grip safety, as you can see here. There's a grip safety here on the back, similar to like an FN, you know, because they basically copied each other to make that feature. So anyways, like I was saying, so these were made from 1908 to 1945. They made about 570,000 of them, and what was kind of cool about some of the history with that is that the U.S. Army and the Air Force gave these to generals or general officers from World War II up until the 70s, which is kind of cool. And then after that, you know, they were replaced by the Colt M15, which is a general officer's model. It's basically just a shorter, compact version of the M1911A1, and that's what they get up until now, actually. A couple other cool things about this, though, is that like the Shanghai police use these basically in the 20s and the 30s, and it was actually popular too for the Boston Police Department to use these, because it's a 380, so it has a little bit more power. It's basically a shorter 9mm versus where the 32 is, you know, not as powerful of a round. This has a little bit more kick to it, and would be considered a good carry round as well. There are some gangsters that actually had these as well, so because they were really easy to conceal. So Al Capone actually carried one of these. Bonnie Parker carried one of these to break Clyde out of jail, which was kind of cool. So, and then bank robber John Dillinger actually carried one of these as well. And I think that the FBI actually has Dillinger's also. I think it's in a museum somewhere in Boston, or no, I think it's in Brooklyn, that they have his, which is kind of crazy. So anyways, I just wanted to show everybody. And Capone's 1911 went for sale here just recently, or a couple of years ago, for like $500,000, but I'd be really curious to see if his 1908 went for sale as well. So that would be kind of an interesting thing to look for. But yeah, it's just a internal hammer. It's pocket hammers. These are a little bit harder. Like if you were a collector like I am and you're looking for some, it's really easy to find the Model 1903s. I have one, and the one I have is basically in perfect condition. But this one, you know, like I said, is a little bit rougher because these are just a little harder to come by. They just didn't make as many of them. But let me know in the comments, do you have one? I'd love to hear from somebody else that has them, shoots them, and if you do shoot it, what rounds do you buy? Because I might like to buy and shoot some of those myself, just so I can shoot this as well. But thanks again for watching.